touchdown Edinburgh right now. I surely get the hype. I get the hype. Let me turn my camera so you can see what I mean. Yeah, it feels good to be in Scotland. It's quite cold. I came prepared, as you can already tell. Excited to be here. Welcome to Edinburgh, to the capital of Scotland. We are in the capital of Scotland. So this is Edinburgh. I'm still at the airport and I'm very excited, guys. This is one of those trips I take to just dream bigger, to realize that it's possible to just move to another city and have a feel and think about life in another dimension, see how people do things differently. And to be honest, it's a dream come true. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria. This is me taking a break from PhD work, intentionally, actively, but only for a short while, so I can regain my I can regain my inspiration, my motivation, so that I can show up better for my work. Because to put it simply, it can get so draining, and I've shared a lot about a PhD and I will still share, because I find that these are some of the things that you might not know until you start on the journey. Anyway, it's my very first time in Scotland. I'm in the capital, Edinburgh. I still don't know if I pronounce it the best way, but who cares? I'm in Edinburgh anyway. We made it here. The pronunciation, I'm not a native Scottish and I'm not a native English yet. Wow, did I say yet? Anyway, my name is Namaganda, so that's my kind of language. I am a Muganda, so for some of these words, yeah, you will excuse me. When I was on the flight, I find that we live in such a fast-paced world, and the diaspora doesn't even make it any better. Like UK, US, I've lived in both of these places. Guys, I'm in a cafe, so if you hear cups and everything, please bear with me. It's not my making. But I hope you're able to hear me, because I also like the fact that this is like a slowed down kind of recording. Let me pause it because someone is really talking and I need to focus. I need you guys to hear this message clearly. Yeah, so the past week I've been attending a cross-cutting course, which is scientific writing. And one of the instructors, of course, said to be able to write, you need to read extensively, if that makes sense. Like, you can only write what you have. To be a good writer, you need to read extensively, or to be a good reader, you have to learn to write. Like, both of them complement each other. It's like clock and key, they go together. So, but also I've noticed that on my journey as a PhD student, on my journey of life, I have fallen in love with reading. Like, I'm not just reading scientific material. I love to read about people's expressions. I love to read articles that are not necessarily like scientific. Of course, I read a lot of scientific journals because that's part of my research work. Reading extensively, finding gaps and seeing how that feeds into my research. But also reading about, guys, I have read a lot of self-help books. I think I went through a transition or a stage of like getting deeper into personal development, and I needed answers. And some of these answers, of course, are in books, which introduced me to the culture of reading. And that means the more I read, the more I learn to write. And I love to like jot down things in a way that is clear to me, but also I think for some people, writing down is a way to like release what is in your mind. Because if you're a very philosophical person, you have like lots of ideas going into your mind. You want to have an outlet. You want to have a way to release that. And for me, I am happy that I get to sometimes release it through my content. And I'm going to share something with you. While I was on the flight, I noticed, okay, now I've been flying for a while. And I noticed that the flight is one moment for me to like be present with my thoughts, my ideas, and it's a way for me to like reflect. My travel experience has really come a long way. The first time I was on a flight ever, it was a mix of excitement and fear. Like I wasn't sure what it feels like to be safe on flight. I don't know. I was like, it's a new experience. I'm like, I'm up in the sky. Like, if anything happens, Lord, here I am. Like, that could go through my mind, like, at the time. But I was also very excited to be flying for the very first time. So now that has changed. Lately, when I'm on the flight, it's a way for me to quiet my mind, to reflect, to think. And I love getting a window seat, because then I look like through the window, like I'm above the skies, I'm seeing the clouds. And I just keep thinking how powerful the human mind is. Like, guys, how powerful technology by the human mind is, because for some reason someone is able to be up, like floating in the sky, like above. Like, that's even when I've been flying for all this time, like, it still quite of blows my mind in the best way possible, that a person or a group of people came up with this whole thing and they built this entire technology that you're able to travel from point A to point B. And anyway, so while I was doing my kind of Euro tour, so first Belfast, then now Edinburgh, I kept thinking about how far I have come. And I mean to say, I think this is also like a very vulnerable video for me, but I'm happy because to share it, because it's like a testimony to how God is so faithful. And yeah, I mean, how mighty He is to bring me to this point of me realizing some of the things that appear to be far-fetched dreams. Like, it was almost unreachable, out of sight, out of reach, but now it's like my reality. Like, I get to fly. Like, on a normal day, I'm like, let me go casually, let me go to Edinburgh, let me go to Belfast, let me go experience life in another city. I mean, yeah, for someone who knows where they come from, this is like a very big moment. And while there, of course, I reflected, I wrote down. I like to write down. Like I was telling you, if you have like so many things in your mind, writing down is a way to release. It's like a creative escape. Shout outs to all the writers and readers. And yeah, it's a very good practice. I highly recommend. So I wrote down something on my iPad, but the good thing, I mean, I can access my iPad on my phone. Guys, I think you already know this, but I'm trying to explain for someone who might be like, okay, write down on your iPad, but you're reading from your phone. Yeah, shout outs to Apple for the interconnectedness of the Apple systems. I love that, the convenience that it gives. Anyway, so you know those posts you keep finding at different spots at the airport, and they give you like this wonderful feel before you even get into the detail of it. This one is "It Poses a Boldness and Grandeur Beyond That I've Ever Seen" by Thomas Pennant. There's no habitation of human beings in this world so fine in its way as this, the capital of Scotland, by Andrew Carnegie. Guys, this is one of my fun and dream come true trips when it comes to the UK, and like, of course, parts of the Europe, of my Euro tour. I love the fact that there is different writings here that kind of portray that this dream in masonry and living rock is not a drop scene in a theater, but a city in the world of reality. That's by Robert Louis Stevenson. I'm basically taking you through like my arrival, and as I was saying, I mean, the lighting here isn't favoring me so much. Maybe I need to switch it up this way. That I'm happy to be traveling to Scotland, because everyone has told me how beautiful this city is, and I'm yet to get into how funky and lovely it is. And out there we can see Edinburgh is a dream of great genius. Ooh, Edinburgh is a dream of great genius. I love this. I need to pause and take a picture. So when I came to the UK, I was looking at one of those things that I need to do. And of course, people recommended so many things. And one of them was, of course, me. So this is me taking a photo of this very beautiful phrase. Yeah, one of it was to visit Scotland. And guys, we are finally here. I just want to say, sometimes when I'm on the flight and thinking about the places I visited, I'm like, girl, you're living so many unanswered dreams. And this trip is purely for my pleasure. Nothing like please find attached, nothing like meetings, nothing like supervisor, this or that. I mean, as a PhD student, even getting like 4 days, 5 days off out of like the middle of everything is a proper win. Anyway. There we have it, the big signpost for welcome to Edinburgh. Thank you. As you can see right there on the screen. Okay guys, need to find my way out. Hi guys, right on site in Edinburgh. This is not at the airport. I'm waiting for my cab to pick me up. Very excited as can be. Ta-da! Joy is coming. Joy is killing someone. So over there is like a castle. I just want to zoom in a bit for you to see the landscape. Like everything is, yeah, movie worthy or picturesque or whatever people say, but I surely get the hype. It's like I haven't even spent 5 minutes yet. And yeah, so what we are going to do right now is I am going to go check into my Airbnb and then take some time to rest, find something to eat, and then get into the content in a bit. I'll show you around. Anyway, the flight was good. I got a good seat. I took time to reflect. We'll see more of that as we go in. And yeah, I'm excited for you to get into this vlog, but also the reflections I made. And I know that there is something for each one to take away. And yeah, let's get into it. For the record, since I started my PhD, this is the one trip I decided to take without my laptop. I was so intentional on being away from my laptop, even if I was just a few days, because almost always I was getting a burnout, guys. It was real. I was seeing no progress, yet I was doing so much at the same time. And yeah, my mind was clouded. I had like mental fog and fatigue. And I decided to take this trip, leaving my laptop behind. And let me tell you, there was a lot of guilt. As a PhD student, almost every time you think you have to be analyzing data, you have to be responding to emails, you have to be doing all of that. But I was like, no, I need to think clearly and I need to recover. It was so much. But anyway, my point is the guilt was strong, but so was the relief of I can actually do this, because it's like you cannot define yourself otherwise. If you are a PhD student, you only see yourself as that. And I was training myself to learn and normalize resting. And yeah, it really worked. It did. Hi guys, I'm in the capital. Well, I am in the old town, but it's so windy and vlogging is getting a little complicated. So windy, but oh, everyone is almost flying off the ground, guys. Let me show you around. Ooh. So this is the old town. Just needs to stand on the side because what's in the wind, like it's blowing so much. So I'm on Mary King's Close, which is like the walk down towards the Edinburgh Castle that I want to go and check out. And yeah, I mean, the baby girl in me is already freaking out because every time I step on the road, it's like the wind wants to carry me off the ground. Well, in front of me are the city chambers, And like I mentioned, this is like the old town, like the old town part of Edinburgh, and I will just take a walk through. I'm headed to the Edinburgh Castle, and I hope to get like very good views, get a city feel. But so far my experience about Edinburgh has been, it's really a castle city. Almost at every time I step out, the wind blows me off. Wow. This is Edinburgh. Hi guys, we made it to the Edinburgh Castle, and this is the front of it. And your girl out here is struggling with all the wind. But at least we made it. I'll show you around. This is like one of the, of course, the iconic places, the landmarks, and that's the castle. Then down there you get to have the feel of the entire, like the views of Edinburgh. You get like such a clear landscape. I'm just moving closer now so you can see. It's like raised up on a hill, and so you're able to see the views, the landscape, the everything, like most of the buildings. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, this is my angle from up above. Yeah, the views are breathtaking. But this is not what I signed up for. This is not it. Yeah, but the views are beautiful. Anyways, I'll just take a shot on the front of the castle, and that will be it. Hi guys, I made it to Scotland, but the real question is, does Scotland want me to be here? Because the wind is crazy. It's almost blowing me off the ground. I could barely walk. I, like, for the love of me, as like this is not it, I just found a cafe. So I'm seated somewhere where there is like a windshield. I don't know how to call it, but like you get a view of the city, and I'm just waiting for the wind to get down. It's like the wind I experienced when I was down in Belfast, because I'm like, why is this wind so much like this? But anyway, I understand it's probably part of the season. I just looked at the weather forecast, and it's interesting to see that the wind will normalize at around 4 p.m. So right now it's just 1 o'clock, and I've been ready with my camera and everything to start gallivanting the streets. I've done a bit of vlogging, but like, it's like this wind thinks I'm only like a paper bag. Like it was almost about to blow me off the ground. And yeah, so the place has like so many tourists, and almost everyone is holding on to something because the wind is crazy. It's like an actual storm. What in the world is this? Yeah, this is, I told you it's like a very vulnerable video, but I'm happy because I know it will feed into someone out there. And I love when you people actually write back to me and tell me what I mentioned in one of my videos, like changed how you thought, and it gave you like new meaning. It gave you new meaning, new perspectives. I love that. It's good feedback for me to continue doing what I'm doing, because I mean, I could be here but not actually speaking to someone. Would that be making sense in any way? Anyway, yeah, let's go through this, and then yeah, I'm basically just documenting my life, guys, but also bringing you along. Which is really so fulfilling in so many ways. Hi guys, I am back in the old town because the weather is better today. It's not as windy and it's not trying to carry me off the ground. So I'm back to the old town, and basically there is lots of activity happening. I'm just getting a feel of Scotland. And I'll just turn around. So right now I'm almost at what you'd call the most touristy line of Edinburgh. This is like the high street, the Royal Mile. I don't know if that's how to pronounce it, but like the spot I am standing right now is the one that separates the South Bridge of Edinburgh from the North Bridge. So if I turn my camera in that direction, this side is the South Bridge, and then if I zoom it on this other side across the road, that's the North Bridge. And I'm interested to now take a walk down to the Holyrood, like a palace called Holyrood Palace. I don't know if I'm getting the name correct. Holyrood Palace. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. So come take a walk with me. Let's explore Edinburgh. I'm happy that honestly today the skies are blue. Looks like it's gonna be a lovely day. I've been thinking about something that has been on my mind, and it's because every time I get a chance to visit a new country, to visit a new city, I get like a different experience. It doesn't matter how many times I've been traveling, but every city, every state, every country I step into gives me like a different feel. And I'm trying to explain this, and let me try to explain this in the best way that I can. This is what I mean. It's like getting out of your routine inspires your mind to like think differently, because you get to a new place and see how people do things differently. You find that there is, and it doesn't really have to be like, let's say, a fast-paced city. It can be like a slow-paced city, but just being around a different environment somehow ignites your passion in different ways, and that's how I feel every time I go to a new city. So Edinburgh has given me like a deeper feeling of like thinking about how I want to show up better for myself, and in the kind of work that I do when it comes to like my content creation, when it comes to my research work. And just being here gave me a time to like kind of slow down and think through some of those things. And yeah, I find that because I think I really hit the target of me wanting to take this trip. One of it was to, of course, get away from like my routine kind of work, but also to allow me take a pause like from the PhD work, really a short pause, which is working magic. The street looks so beautiful. I'm just passing by St. Mary's Street. So one thing I love about the diaspora is the organization when it comes to use of the roads and traffic lights and all of that. I mean, some people of course don't follow. Oh, look at the views on the extreme end. I'm just gonna zoom in and zoom out a bit. Hi guys, I just passed by a signpost that has the University of Edinburgh, so I'm gonna go take a tour briefly at the Holyrood campus. That's interesting because I was just on my way and I really needed to see or check out the university. So here I am. Welcome to the University of Edinburgh. Look at the views. So up there, I think that's what they call Arthur's Seat. I'm not sure, but it's another place to check out, like to hike up. The campus looks very clean, neat, and calm and quiet. I mean, as it should. So I will just get off the vlogging now and interact with some of the people at the campus here. Just get a feel of what happens and some of the research work that's perhaps being done here. There we are. That's the signpost for the University of Edinburgh. Hi guys, made it to the Royal Yacht Britannia, and this is like the ocean view. I don't know if you can see. I'll try to move about. Are you able to see? My camera is facilitated to like give you an area view as I move about. What I was saying is this is like the calm part. Oh my god, the sun. The future is so bright. Yeah, I need to wear this so that it's easier for me. Yeah, I was saying this is like the calm part that I've felt in the day because earlier has been chaotic. There has been lots of wind blowing. It's been like an actual storm. But now I get to come to the Royal Yacht Britannia. It's calm. I can look at the water, the views, and everything. I get to rest. I'm also going to grab another meal. I had one earlier, some coffees, some pastries as I walked about. But yeah, this is pretty much my Edinburgh tour. Edinburgh. Yeah, whichever that is. And I've enjoyed it so far. It's beautiful, except for the very stormy weather. I'll try to summarize this like in a way that is meaningful. Earlier, I was reading to you a letter I was writing to myself that made me reflect, but then the coffee shop I was in was a bit noisy and I wanted you guys to hear what I was saying. Anyway, this is part of the reflection I had while I was on board and flying. I was telling you this is like a very vulnerable part about this vlogging, but it was a good way for me to think about it and actually want to share it with the rest of you. It's a letter I wrote to myself while I was reflecting, and this is how it went. It's my first time in Belfast and Edinburgh, and I'm as grateful as can be. I've had a safe stay, divine safe flights, and while on board, I reflected on the beauty that my life is, on how many blessings that I'm currently living, and how far I have come, on how it has been so important for me to change my reality, to partner with God, and change some of the limiting beliefs that I had, to sometimes step into the unknown with bold faith and fear at the same time. Many things have turned out well because His grace is sufficient. While on the flight, I thought about how it's a good time to reflect and plan and dream. Such a precious uninterrupted time of no meetings, no deadlines, no find attached, none of that. And I'm literally close to my Creator. Well, I'm up in the sky, literally and figuratively. Haha. I thought about how it's important for someone to make friends with fear, to know that fear is here and I can let it be my companion and not let it stop me to step into my greatness. I cried while looking over the beautiful sunset in the plane and realizing that that's the best sunset I've ever seen in a while. And what a lovely way to stare at the sunset above the clouds. Must be my favorite spot now to catch the sunset. My experience with flights has come a very long way. First, it was excitement and fear in one. Now I feel so limitless. While on board, I love getting a window seat always and look through to behold the magic that is just is. It is almost always a reminder of how powerful the human mind is, because someone or a group of people came up with such technology that allows us to fly miles and miles above the sky. We are indeed powerful when we step into our greatness. While on board, I thought about 19-year-old Maria and 20-year-old Maria. I also thought about 35-year-old Maria that is yet to be some many years to come. Many in quotes because it feels like it's many years, but is it really many years? To the 20-year-old Maria, I thought of writing her a letter. A letter to let her know what the current just turned 29-year-old Maria is experiencing. Well, I mean, if you're watching this, now you know, I just turned 29 years. And I find that 29 years, I was actually thinking about it when I turned 29. I celebrated my birthday when I went to Paris, and I'll share this vlog. I found that I haven't shared that vlog because it was so personal for me. And when I went to Paris, it wasn't about me creating content. Of course, I did shoot a lot of videos and pictures and everything, but it was about me to experience and realize a dream trip, because Paris was a dream come true for me, and to know how far I have come, and for that moment to know that I luxuriously went to Paris to celebrate my birthday was such a big thing that I was not in any rush to actually share that, but I'm gonna share. And so that's why I'm saying this is a vulnerable letter. Anyway, I thought of the 29-year-olds. I thought of the 20-year-old Maria, and I told her how many of her dreams have come true. She has traveled the world. She has dared to do big and small and mighty things. She has traveled and visited her dream places. She has loved and she knows pain, and she will always be a lover girl. She has met amazing people, kind strangers. She has made many friends from different walks of life, young, old, white, black. You guys, I have friends from all walks of life. And it's interesting because everyone is like literally about their own life, and it's amazing to know that I get to interact. I am privileged to know such people, like from different backgrounds, from different countries, different ages, different races, people who have like different perspectives on life, and I'm always privileged to tap into their energy, their minds, and I've been so blessed that even strangers have been so kind to me, and sometimes they've turned into friends. So this is just like a moment of realization of I can have contacts. Like I have friends who are farmers back in Uganda, like, you know, I have friends who are in high profile places. I have friends who are boda riders in Kampala. I have friends who are, I don't know, everywhere, like in global health, in now the WHO, in like all the big offices, in all the different areas of life. I have friends who are doing mighty things. I have friends from all walks of life. That is something that makes me so happy. And if I brought all my friends into one room, someone would actually wonder, like, what is this girl, like, what is her life? Because like it's so many, it's very diverse. Anyway, this is my microphone in case you're wondering what that is. Yeah, so she has met amazing people, kind strangers. She has made very many friends from different walks of life, young, old, white, black, and everything in between. She no longer hustles for survival or have to work to pay her tuition. Background story, when I was at my undergraduate, I paid for my tuition at campus, and it was one of the most hardest things. Well, it was one of the hardest things of my life, but also very rewarding. And so I was telling 20-year-old Maria right now that you no longer have to hustle to pay your tuition. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Wait. Yeah, she no longer hustles for survival or have to pay her tuition. She is now paid to study and is now well on her way to getting her doctorate degree. Well, that's a PhD that we are chasing, that we are bringing home soon. Yeah, and she has learned that pretending to be hard doesn't protect her. Maybe it did at some point, but now she is truly embracing the softness that is who she is and who she has always been. I told that 20-year-old Maria that her mother is very proud of her and her father is immensely proud of her little girl. Rest in peace to my dad. He died in 2019. He's with the angels right now and watching over us. Above all, I told the 20-year-old Maria that God has been so good to her. I thanked the 20-year-old Maria for her greatness, for keeping on and being present to dream and to realize many of her wildest dreams. I thank the 20-year-old Maria in this moment. I thank her that she has brought me here today. I'm in Edinburgh, I'm in Scotland. She has really carried me through, and she is truly an icon. So shout out to the 20-year-old Maria. And when I say the 20-year-old Maria, this is for me to send a torch and a light to someone who might relate with me, someone like back home in Uganda who is dreaming, who is chasing a dream, who sometimes feels that they're not seeing the vision come to life, they're not seeing the end of the tunnel, they're not seeing the light that people talk about. I want to say, keep being present, keep chasing for the things that you dream and think of, and keep working towards them, because in the moment of you going through all these different changes, you're being refined, you're being set up to realize your greatness, and it's a way that you partner with God to make you a better person in terms of thought, in terms of mindset, perspectives, and it's a way for you to arrive to where you're headed. But also, I want to say that that moment, there is no point in life that you will arrive to and feel like, oh, this is it. Because I think I've gone through some phases, and it's like there is always something that you're going to be chasing for. So while you're in that moment of surviving, of everything, don't forget to live, because it's like at every level you get to, there is always something more to chase for, there is always something more to want. And that means you have to be grateful at any point in life, because it's like it's the human mind is wired to keep chasing and to keep wanting more and to keep it's how we are designed. So it's important that you find it in yourself to reflect, to sit back, to pause and realize you have come so far, that even where you are now, even if you haven't realized most of the things you want, you're well on your way. And recognize how blessed you are, like in the moment. Recognize how your journey is unfolding, like in the most unique and beautiful ways, because I'm also a firm believer that your journey doesn't have to really look like any other person's journey. We are very unique people and our stories are different, and no story is the same. Like even when you grow up in the same household, even when your siblings or your twins, even if you have the same parents and exposed to the same environment, people will have different experiences, because we are different people at the end of the day. So learn to own your story. Learn to live in that moment, learn to be grateful, learn to not give up, and learn that at every step of the journey, there is always going to be more. So live in the moment, like appreciate where you are. So don't let the ambitions of life let you neglect or undermine whatever blessings you're currently living. And that is what I wanted to share. Of course, the letter was kind of detailed. I wrote one to the 35-year-old Maria, that I'll read maybe sometime later after. Right now I can only share that bit, and I wanted to say that, and that's it, guys. So thank you for chilling with me, for coming with me. I think this view is perfect. I've enjoyed creating this. It's gonna be very memorable for me to look back at this video at some time to come, and to know that I shot it and shared it with the rest of the world.